Okay, I think it's saved. I can turn the PS3 off now.
Wonderful. Grimith, you are leaving in 5 hours or 4 hours?
4 hours. 6 p.m. EDT, I'm gone.
All right, 4 hours, you say.
God damn it, just turn off!
Kind of waiting on you.
No, this PlayStation asked it to turn off and then it didn't. I'll join the server anyway.
I like how I can be ready to go whenever I come from work.
I will set my computer for over an hour and just like, click, click, click. There,
I am so ready.
His body is
never
ready.
been ready before.
Yeah, my body is ready.
Is it the old or new you're gonna start MapTools?
What?
The old one.
God damn it.
You know what? We can start while she's connecting still.
Sure.
Right. So what happened last time? DDS.
Of course you ask me. Now let's see if I can actually remember what we did last time. Well, I remember. I think we started the session after meeting Cassius, this thing.
Yeah.
Fey creature. And then we went ahead and went to the wizard who's caused all this lair, following him along. Through the land of fire and mud, I think. Oh yeah, we went to this nice. We went through this kind of nice, foresty kind of area. Money signs appeared in Alinari's eyes at the side of actual wood.
Mm-hmm.
So we get down. The lair was protected by a trap that stops things flying, and then a massive pool of molten mud in the way, which Rilland just happily steals the platform shoes of Alinari and dives across with. And the rest of us take lizard. Then Alinari and Tristlin suicidally start climbing to boiling pits of water under some kind of magical control, which then involves me pinning Tristlin to the ground, and then Alinari giving almost everyone hydrophobia. We went round and we discovered a crackling rift into the elemental planes, and a wizard's house made of stone, in which was a staff beyond the power of anything we've ever met before. Also, there was a pit of boiling mud filled with some fire elementals that spoke to Rilland in Ignim, and we killed some psychic crystal creatures outside us. I don't know if we did anything else.
The Christmas thingies? Yeah, you mentioned those.
Yes, after dealing with the Chrismals, we then returned back to Vothis and did a kingdom turn. We are currently starting the session in Vothis.
Yeah.
Thank you, Grimith.
Yes.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. Having concluded the official business of the barony, and having done some trips to and fro the city of Xan, you now stand on the precipice of another 3 months of, digging around in the Underdark.
I'll need 2 weeks to complete the requested items, or 28 days if we're going to be traveling while I do it. As a result, if you actually wanted to have the items before we get into, say, a combat or non-combat encounter, we'll need to wait.
Yep.
So, are you gonna wait?
Well,
Sure.
even if we wait a month or 2 weeks or however long Grimith needs, or Rilland needs rather, we should have plenty of time to just explore around a bit more for that.
Yep. We have 3 months now, or 2 months. 2, 3, 3, 3.
On the third
For the
month,
next,
you should return. It's
yeah.
basically.
So we usually take 2 months of going and doing stuff. So we can take 2 weeks of downtime.
I mean, we have to take about a month anyway for just doing kingdom stuff anyway. So
I guess we can take this time to do some of our work. Take
All
a
right.
month to
Very well.
chill
and
out.
I can actually do some paperwork.
Some actual paperwork. All right, 2 weeks then. As you poke around in Vothis, Rilland is crafting. What do the rest of you do during these 2 weeks?
Zin is going to spend a lot of time training with his bat friend who is still around.
Somewhere.
How good is it become bigger? Is it become better?
It's certainly growing slowly.
Yeah, it's being fed like cobalt slaves or something.
And protein powder.
Yeah,
It's basically the same thing.
power
Healthy
gain.
diet.
For every bat, yes.
All right, Sin is training with the bat.
Aries ruling.
Yes, sitting on the throne, listening to petitions and saying no to all of them.
Yeah. Well, yeah, mostly. Accepting praise.
Mhm.
And donations, if there are any.
I mean, there's certainly people seeking an audience to just scrape before her and trying to sort of lure some sort of favor from her.
Well, she will always tell them not to waste her time, of course.
Of course.
But she will, of course, also let them have the time to actually sort of...
Groveling is important in a tyranny.
It is. I mean, that is one of the few benefits of being the High Ruler.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the matron, she
inspect her dominion, maybe even go a trip out on a long road in the fungal jungle to see how the work is going there.
Sure. Tristan?
She will be possibly. There's probably gonna be some teachings, and she's gonna spend some time just with Sakari doing stuff that they find funny, I guess.
Okay.
And I guess she'll be training with Tarlin to get the feet.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Sure.
Rain?
Rain's going to be spending some time working on the various different military people for one, so Zin, and of course, I completely forgot his name, but our warden. Basically, just making sure, Tevaqual, making sure all the patrols are working properly, make sure the guards are not slacking on their duties, whipping them into shape. We don't have an army, so the guards will do for this. Other than that, I'll be around, keeping an eye on different things, making sure no one's like diving into a fiery pit of mud.
Sure.
Again.
Sure. And it is actually on one of these patrols around Vothus, in the dead of the resting hours. We don't have nights here, but we do have the resting hours when most people are resting. That suddenly there is some ruckus coming from the small place of worship that is in Vothus. I don't think Vothus has a shrine as such.
Just be like someone's house that's being converted.
But I am pretty sure there is a small, shrine-like thing of worship. The High Priestess is here after all, so it should be something. Actually, where would that be located, Trislan?
Sorry, Manic and I was talking about my magic device. What did you say?
Where is the small shrine to Agaris located in Vothus?
In Vothus?
Yes, where would you do your worship? Because we don't have a proper shrine, so...
Some nice area with water.
You don't really have running water. You have water reserves down in the slave camps underneath Vothus.
No, she doesn't want to do it with slaves.
Do it in the gardens.
Yeah, in the gardens. That sounds nice. She'll do it in the garden.
All right. There's a certain spot in the gardens where worship to Agaris is being performed daily. And that can certainly be a thing. It's among art, so that's fitting. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it is from this small place in the gardens then that the ruckus suddenly erupts as Rain is out on one of his patrols.
Then Rain will just go there at top speed, seeing what's going on.
All right. As he arrives, he sees the body of what seems to be an acolyte of Trislan's. It is laying in the middle of this little shrine area, seemingly completely ripped to pieces. Blood is everywhere. There is a lot of drow and gnomes around, staring at the scene. And everyone just seems to be completely stunned at this.
Okay, first thing. Is anyone is there anyone? I'm gonna kind of like do a perception check to see if there's anyone like moving away or. Like
there is a lot of movement right now. A lot of people are coming to the scene. And there's a lot of hustle and bustle around it as people sort of crowd in to see what's happening.
Okay. Okay then.
Along with drow guards, of course.
Okay then. Looking to whatever guards I have around, Rain is going to make himself seeable and then basically shout out over the crowds. All of you present, line. A crime has been committed. Basically just echoing his voice out and just basically directing the crowd to get still.
Sure. You can make an intimidation check.
Yes, I certainly can. I'm gonna roll twice on this.
Okay.
So Tristan is there too, right?
No, you said she's with Tarlet probably, right?
Well, 25
at that
intimidate.
point, probably.
But she, I mean, there's a lot of ruckus out there. You will probably hear it after a while.
Well, it doesn't matter. Just if I,
The car flies out the window.
All right, 25. Yeah, the commanding and booming voice of Rain washes over the crowd, and everyone, the guards snap to it and start lining everyone up. And if anyone tries to move away, they will sort of move to intercept them and fold them into the crowd, so to speak. And everyone seems to rather quickly line up, although there is still a lot of sort of alarm going on. The scene is quite grisly, after all.
I will find one guard and basically send them off to fetch. Well, I know Tristan would be awake, so at least fetch Tristan.
Sure. You can make a perception check.
I shall do so. That was a really bad roll.
you can't win them all.
That was like a 4.
Unless you're Grimith.
3.
That's right. All right. People start lining up. What do you want to do with the people that has lined up?
Okay, so first thing they're lined up. So the body that's next to me, it's just completely just hacked and slashed.
Yes.
Can I tell what kind of injuries? Was it done by a,
You can make a heal check.
Now clearly, because I'm investigating what kind of weapon, can I make a profession soldier check?
You can make a professional soldier check to see if the weapons are involved. Yes. If it is a weapon, you do not recognize what type of weapon it would be.
Very well.
It seems to be. Slashing here and there, at least. But other wounds that you can't really pin to a weapon.
Well, clearly, if it's not a weapon, then you just know just the person to ask.
So, Rain will now, looking to the massive crowd there, basically will go through and get some of the guards to basically, interrogate some of the people, try and work out, what do they see, what they didn't. Rain will also, maybe go and ask questions on what's going on and wait for people to come, wait for Tristan and anyone else who wants to follow come down.
Yes. If Tarlin is with Tristan, he will accompany her down if she wishes. Otherwise, he will remain.
Sure, he can come.
Well, he follows along.
I still have some trouble with my mouse, so sometimes I can't move my
That's fine, you've been moved.
Well, I moved myself with one of the lucky one.
All right. A few minutes later, the guard, returns, quite excitable as it seems. With him is Tristan, Zachary, and Tarlin. Tristan recognizes the body as that of Jimbal, a rather promising acolyte in the Agaris cult. Actually, he has been rising fairly steadily in the ranks, devoted, in that deliciously fanatic way that you want it. He did a lot of sacrifices, a lot of rituals and things. It was quite. quite respected in the cult, so to speak.
What a waste. Certain will ask Rain for an explanation.
Rain will just inform Trislin that he's not sure what's caused it. He's just gathered up the crowd that was here, and after he heard the ruckus, the wounds are unlike any weapon.
Has anyone touched the body beside the killer?
Rain will go through to his guards and ask and see if if anyone's reported touching the body, or if the guards have touched the body at all.
People present seems to say that no one has touched the body since the alarm was raised, basically.
Excellent. Tristan will cast Evolution Search on Sakari and give him sense.
All right.
And ask him to smell the body to see if he can find any smells on who did it.
Of course, if it's recent, then he'll be able to follow it.
Make a perception check for Sakari.
Okay.
And Truslin can make one too.
I don't know if that would help, but you never know.
You can try.
I certainly can. No.
Sakari sniffs about, but basically reports back that there is too many smells present for him to actually get a good read. So
doesn't scent give you +10 extra to the roll?
As I said, there is a lot of people present that confuse Sakari's smell.
So you did account for that. Well, that sucks.
Sure he does.
And the DC to follow a typical trail is 10, but if it's, with all the stuff around, it's difficult.
As Sakari sniffs around, though, Tristan notices something on the small altar itself.
Well, she will go and find out what it is.
It seems like blood has been used to paint runes on the altar that should not be there.
Great. What does it say? What runes?
Well, it is in Abyssal, first of all.
She can't speak Abyssal, but she knows that... She doesn't know that you know it. No, she doesn't. She has never seen Elenary speak Abyssal. But she...
But no one wants to know it.
I mean, you have lived together for like 100 years. You would probably know.
I think everyone has heard her speak Abyssal.
Yeah.
If nothing else, we can at least take down a copy of it and show it to her.
Most
All
of her
prayers done by her are in Abyssal.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, then she will remove restraints on Sakari and ask him to get Elenary. Well, tell her it's urgent.
Sakari lopes off.
Elenary currently is sleeping in her rather large bed, sort of very silken sheets, laying there alone, thinking about, daydreaming, or night dreaming really, about how wonderful she is and how grand her empire should be.
Yeah. And as she stands there, dominating over the cowering masses before her, everyone singing her praise, suddenly there is a commotion at the door, and it bursts open with a slam as Sakari bolts into the room.
Well, she wakes up and she is very annoyed because it has been utmost said that the guards outside should keep anyone out.
You do notice that the guard seems to be sort of knocked out.
Well, Elenary will sort of sit up and be very annoyed at Sakari as she hates being woken too early.
Sakari seems to be very excitable and seems to indicate her like the grunts and paws and stuff.
He can speak Elven,
He can?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Then he will growl in Elven to Elenary. Trislin needs you immediately.
She sort of gives an exasperated sigh as she begins to put on her royal clothing, and then begin to make her way, at her own pace, following Sakari.
Yep. Sakari leads her back to the scene.
She will also note to the guard outside her door who he was. Because he's not going to have a good time later.
Yeah, he seems not to have a very great time at the moment, actually.
No.
He'll
She'll tell another guard outside one of the other doors to go fetch him and put him in the dungeon for her.
Of course, matron.
Maybe she'll remember him, maybe she won't. Follow Sakari.
Yeah, while Eleanor is on the way down, something Rain's going to do is basically use his detect alignment ability and basically go through the crowd. Is there anything that seems off by anyone? Is there anyone that's
I don't know.
completely
What alignment would you count as being off?
Well, firstly, yeah, if good appears when I'm searching through, then that's a bit of an issue.
I mean, if a good creature murdered someone in cold blood and wrote with abyssal runes on the altar.
Exactly.
Yeah, I like that explanation. Continue.
More notably, for example, if someone just doesn't pick up a tool, for example, or if basically if someone's strayed a bit further from just the normal evil area or tool, it's possible.
There is a mix
gnomes,
of
right?
there's a mix of drow and gnomes here. The alignment goes from all manner of evil and neutral mainly.
There's no super positive drows around, for example.
You don't find any lawful good drows.
Unexpected. I didn't expect so, but it's worth a try.
Eleanor will on the way down ask Sakari what the matter is.
Sakari, how intelligent is Sakari? Like what's
Sakari has an intelligence of 7.
7. Then
it's enough. He can do a decent conversation.
Then he will growl that someone seems to have died at the place of worship, the praying spot, as he calls it.
Eleanor will no further questions. She thought maybe it'd be good to get everyone, but if it's just that, then who cares? She'll just continue.
Sure.
Through a combination of Rains and, of course, what he told his guards to do of interrogating basically eyewitness accounts, what kind of information has he gathered so far from everyone?
Well, not too much in the first sweep of it all, so to speak. It seems like someone was on their way to the praying spot to do their sort of daily prayers and worships to Agaris when they found the body. Immediately recognizing it was Jimbal, they tried to raise the alarm by basically shouting in panic.
You did?
Yes, indeed. You can make a diplomacy check or an intimidation check.
Yeah, Rain is just scaring the information out of them, so intimidate. That was a 1.
All right. Well, people seems very, very confused. You don't at the moment don't really get too much out of them, but you're sort of slowly working your way through the crowd. And a while later, Sakari shows up with Eleanor in tow, presumably.
Just over bow and say, matron. Someone has delivered a message to Agaris, but I don't read abyssal, so I need your guidance in this.
Eleanor will sort of go, people will move for her, and she'll.
Of course.
She will just look upon the runes.
Yes, it is certainly abyssal.
Does it say anything specific?
Yes, it seems to be a string of horrific oaths and curses directed towards Agaris. Basically, cursing her name and her presence for all eternity and similar sentiments along the altar.
Oh. So it's someone insulting her, basically.
Yeah.
Wow.
Seemingly using the blood of the dead acolyte.
Oh, a nice touch. All right.
You can make a planar check.
All right. Certainly do that. Oof.
If
Two.
Ally reads it out loud, clearly we can try as well, right?
Oh dear.
You can always ask help. But I guess Eleanor wouldn't do that.
Well, if she's just saying out loud, we overhear, right?
Well, she's not reading out loud. She's not a child.
I tried.
So, is the head intact? Does it have a tongue? Basically?
She looks, bends down and looks upon it.
How destroyed is it?
It seems pretty damn mangled. The tongue is remaining, though.
All right. Well, first and foremost, you'd like to do a heal check to see if you can identify what did this.
Certainly. There is slashing here, not from weapons as far as you can discern. There's also some strange bite marks. She would think that the slashing marks are claws of some kind, although they seem very sharp.
Any gore marks?
No. Claws and bite seems to be the thing. Although she actually notices that around the wounds, there seems also to be frostbite.
She will give Sakari a glance. And then look to Rain, raising an eyebrow slightly for him to understand that he's supposed to give a report.
Rain will move away from whoever is interrogating with the whip. You carry that around for interrogation purposes.
Of course you can.
He'll move over. Matron, I was on patrol and then one of these guys, I point out whatever one it was that seemed to have done it, raised the alarm about this acolyte being dead. Haven't really got any eyewitness accounts yet. All I know about the wound is it's not done by any kind of weapon I can think of. Other than that...
So you know nothing?
So far, no. We're trying to see if we can dig anything out of these people.
She nods.
We stopped as many as we can from getting away.
Send someone to fetch Rillinid. And pretends Zen as well. His eyes might be useful, and Rillinid seems to always have some idea of what might be going on, especially with mysteries. Looks, I will need a few minutes.
Rain nods and just shouts over for one of the guards to go ahead and fetch the other two brothers.
Sure.
She goes over here and begins to prepare some spells. Yeah. Can't prepare for this sort of thing all day.
No, you cannot.
Yeah, a few moments later, there is a knock on Rillinid's door, if he is in his room, that is.
Oh yeah, he is. With his conventional normal sleeping setup. He's ready.
Yep.
His body is ready. It's like slow waking. No immediate crossbow firing. Fine, whatever. Fucking be there. Stupid fucking Eleanor. Probably some sort of stupid shit, man. It always is. Oh, brother, give me a foot massage. Brother, fix my magic shit. Brother, what's happening today? Fucking fine. Put on the mask.
Tarlin's calm and cultivated voice comes from other side of the door. My lord.
Yes!
It seems that a grisly murder has occurred in the courtyard, in the shrine, to be precise. The matron has asked that you help investigate the scene. Apparently there is some demonic influence in all of it.
There's like some momentarily shuffling, some jingling. Rillinid opens the door, like the funeral shawl is half draped over his face. Talon, the day that there is not a grisly murder with demonic involvement at the Shrine of Agares, that's when you should kill this entire family.
Tarlin actually laughs a bit. That is certainly true, my lord. The problem, as I understand it, was that this murder was not actually planned as part of the ceremonies. An unscheduled sacrifice, as it were. And apparently to the wrong demon lord. He gives a coy smile.
It's in the eyes up. Oh. I hate my life. Why can't I have always peace? Alright, thank you, Tarlin. I'll be down. Door closes.
Tarlin moves away. Seemingly to enjoy this this conversation.